So after reading a few university studies on blueberry bushes and the first year pruning process you should go through, I'm going to show you what I already did to another bush, and then we'll get into doing this one. This is the other plant I did it with yesterday. As you can see, I hollowed out the center of it, creating a vase-like structure, and then I cut all the dead growth on it, any dead branches or canes, and then I cut all the flowers off of it. All right, so the idea is you want the bush for the first year to focus on root growth. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is go at these really small canes that are starting to form at the bottom, and I have my pair of needle nose clips here. And I am just gonna cut down at the base and take the cane off. So now what I have here is I have this cane, and it has a few smaller canes coming off of it. I'm gonna cut some of the cane, smaller growth off of this down at the node. So what I do wanna say is that I am not an expert at any of this. I've been reading studies to try and learn what I'm doing. And what I have here, what I'm gonna do here is I have a smaller cane coming up, and I'm gonna snip that. And then I have this cane coming up through the center of the plant. I'm gonna snip that right down as close to the bend there as I can. So I'm just gonna cut that. And I have another one right over here. I'm gonna cut as close to that as I can. I just want all the focus to go into the larger canes. So now from what I'm reading, they say you want like a vase-like structure where the center of the plant is hollow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this right here and I'm gonna cut this off, and then that's gonna give me that. And what that'll allow for is good aeration throughout the center of the plant, from what I'm reading. So we'll cut that, we'll take it off. And then we have this branching out. I'm gonna leave that, that's not interfering too much. And I have some dead growth in here that I'm gonna take off. That way the plant's not focusing on trying to repair any of that. So I'll get right to the center of the node there, kind of where there's a knuckle, and I'm gonna snip that. I have several broken canes up, well, branches coming out from this cane here. So I'm gonna cut there, take that broken cane off, and I'm gonna do the same up here. I get as close to the node as I can and just snip it off. So now that I have all that pruning done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna cut anything that looks like flower growth. You get like these clusters, it appears. This is my first year dealing with these, but I have noticed there's clusters. I'm gonna cut all of that right down as close as I can get to where that node came out. And I'm just gonna go throughout the whole plant, and I am gonna cut every single one of these flowers out. I'm personally not worried about having blueberries this year. I'd rather have a strong plant that will bloom again next year. I have a node right in here that I'm gonna cut, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. And I am gonna go through and I'm gonna snip every single one. And they say you should do this for the first year that it's in the ground. And you can do it the second year if you want. I'm not worried about doing it the second year. I would like to get some fruit off of it next year if I can. So like I said, I am not an expert, but this is what I'm reading in university studies. I think it was, one of them was Massachusetts, another one I believe was out of California. Penn State, I believe, even has a study on this. So that's kind of what I'm doing, trying to educate myself. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.